Like with many sewing projects, the first step here is to lay all of your fabric out. For this project, I used a thrifted twin-sized bedsheet. I folded it in half, hamburger style, then measured it to make sure it was long enough to be floor length. After that, I got to chopping. The shapes you should end up with are a trapezoid, the length being the measurement from the top of your shoulders to your feet. It can come in a bit where your waist will hit, but make sure the whole thing is wide enough to fit over your shoulders. You also need a small triangle and a rectangle the length from your shoulder to your elbow and a width about as twice as its length. Finally, you need a narrow half oval as big as your fabric amount allows. Since you folded the fabric in half, you should have 2 of each piece. Now would be a good time to take a screenshot with your eyeballs of these fabric pieces so that you can copy them on your own twin-sized bedsheet. We are now on to the sewing portion of the video. Grab one rectangle and one triangle and do what I'm doing here, which is pinning one of the short sides of the triangle to the short side of the rectangle. Once pinned, go ahead and sew those pieces together. As long as you're here, please comment any recommendations you have for liquid blush. I've been wanting to try it for a while, plus I'll be traveling soon and I'm afraid that the powdered blush that I usually use won't survive the trip. While you're in the comments, go ahead and try to guess which Shakespeare character I am making this dress for. After that, you're going to want to put the other 2 short sides of the sleeve together and sew them up. Once that's done, your piece should look like this. And then you are going to turn that inside out, or right side out, and repeat that process with your other sleeve pieces. After that, it's time to sew up your trapezoid pieces, which are going to make up your bodice and your skirt. Pin them together and then sew them up the side, leaving just enough room at the top to sew those sleeves in. Here's me seeing if my sleeves fit at the top, and they do fit perfectly. After this, you can fold your newly sewn trapezoid piece in half at the top. This way, there should be 4 layers of fabric, giving you the perfect opportunity to cut out the neckline. The neckline is going to need to be deeper and narrower than you think. At this point, I misplaced my good sewing scissors and I had to improvise with these tiny, tiny, tiny little thread scissors. Once you have that unfolded, use your second pair of sewing scissors to make the front neckline a little deeper. Once you have that unfolded, make the front neckline just a little bit deeper than the back neckline, like so. After that, you're going to want to sew the shoulders together and hem the neckline. While you're at it, you should hem the bottom of the dress. Just a warning, at the reveal at the end, my dress is going to look a little bit too short for me, which is because I'm making it for somebody else. But if you decide to make this dress, please feel free to make it perfectly floor length if you would like, or ankle length, or whatever length you could possibly desire. After this, you're going to want to sew the sleeves on. Make sure that the triangle part of the sleeve is right where the armpit would be so that you can move your arms, and make extra sure that you're not sewing the sleeve on inside out, because I usually do that at least once per project. After your sleeve has been pinned on, go ahead and sew it onto the dress. After this, you can try the dress on, and from there you can figure out how exactly you want your half oval, which is going to be the decorative part of your sleeve, to be sewn on. I'd also recommend finding some sort of long sleeve undershirt to wear underneath the dress and finding a leather belt to cinch the waist, though I would suggest getting a slightly nicer belt than the one you're going to see me use in this video. And then, without further ado, it's time to move on to the reveal.